A new bill wants to overhaul India's biggest rural jobs program. So, is this lifeline on the line?
Critics are calling it Adhikar Chori, a theft of rights. But what exactly is at stake here?
All right, let's break it down. We'll look at its origins, what it does, and what might change.
So, this whole story actually starts with the Indian Constitution and a debate over the right to work.
Now, this right wasn't a law you could sue over. It was a directive principle, a guide for lawmakers.
Yeah, unlike fundamental rights, you can't take the government to court for these, but they're still super important. Fast forward to 2005. After years of activism, the MGNREGA law finally made this promise a partial reality.
And it was a game changer, a universal demand-driven safety net for anyone in rural India who needed it.
But now, a new proposed bill could tear down those very features. Let's take a look at how.
Okay, the biggest change? It goes from a right to work to a scheme based on whatever funds are available.
And the cost for states? It would jump from just 10% to a whopping 40%.
Plus, control would shift, moving away from local village councils to the central government.
There's also a new clause, no work during peak farm season. This could really hurt workers' bargaining power.
The bill also pushes for things like Aadhaar linkage and digital attendance, which are already causing huge problems.
So, who does this really affect? Well, over half the workers are women, many from protected communities.
You see, Adivasis and scheduled castes make up more than a third of the entire workforce here.
And some argue that rolling back these rights is basically an attack on the Constitution itself.
Look, the system is already strained. Just this past year, 99 lakh people who asked for work were denied.
And that gets to the gap between promise and reality. The law says 100 days, people get less than 50.
So at its core, this is a huge philosophical shift away from a rights-based safety net.
So the big question is this a much-needed reform, or is a constitutional promise being broken?